A while back, Alpharad broke his old Mario Odyssey speedrunning record. The whole event was streamed on Twitch, where he made quite the bold statement.
Nothing you can say is going to be helpful. Unless you do have, unless you're actually a runner. You have to have at least, I'm just going to say, just under a 110. If you're a runner with under a 110, you can criticize me. That's fine.
I was there that day. When he spoke those words, I knew then and there that I'd take up the challenge. With Switch in hand, I set about my great work, feeling superior to a stranger on the internet. Considering that I had never played Odyssey before, I knew I'd have to get a benchmark to know where my clearly superior skill level would stand. I started by practicing some basic movement and learning the route from Spinju. His guide was very helpful, so be sure to go check him out. I'll link his channel in the description, and subscribe here too while you're at it. After half an hour of practice, I finally started playing this game for children really fast. This is where my master plan comes to fruition. Alpharad never said what run category had to be done. He just said you had to get a sub 110 in this game. Needless to say, I decided to abuse this clearly intentional choice of words maliciously by running my favorite category extension, Nipple percent. This category is shorter than my attention span, making it perfect for this plan. The route is simple. Get coins and cap, kill Topper, skip all the cutscenes, get 5 moons in Cascade, but make sure you find Luigi, then go to Sand, find 2 more Luigis in the desert, then spin dash like Sonic to the Sphinx, steal his treasure and warp back to the shop, buy the underwear, and boom! The run's done. And you get to look at Mario's luscious body as your reward. Even with all the mistakes I made in my first run, I still managed to do all that in just over 15 minutes. Not bad for a first attempt, and it technically meets the criteria laid out for me. But I wasn't satisfied. In order to prove that I am better, I would lower this time to a sub 10-minute run, which you could argue is a decent compromise if this had any integrity to begin with. With this new goal in mind, I started practicing the basic movement again, specifically the 3 jumps in the run that were actually important: the waterfall jump, the rib jump, and the Sphinx jump. The rib jump, clearly being the hardest of these, warranted the most practice, so I spent hours of my time attempting the jump over and over again. I came close quite a few times, so I decided on a pretty simple strategy. Attempt the rib jump every run. If I fall, I would run to the other side of the map and do dino skip. This strategy proved incredibly effective, lowering my time after nearly every completed run, eventually getting it down to a 10:34, incredibly close to my target time. My roommate, however, figured out something I was too stupid to realize. I was wasting a lot of time with dino skip. She suggested I use the existing 2D segment instead, without attempting the rib jump at all. The results spoke for themselves. Immediately, I blew past my previous time, proving just how close I was to victory. The next run was even better, with my best time far exceeding all my own expectations. And then, it happened. That one mistake on an easy jump cost me the entire run. This completely demoralized me, with every run ending in failure for the rest of the day. This sense of inadequacy continued into the next day, making each mistake sting even harder than before. Eventually, I just decided to play a run out, no matter what happened, which ironically was the first run I had performed well in all day. The run continued and it went shockingly well. I had done it. I got the sub 10-minute run I had been fighting for, but something felt wrong. The amount of mistakes I made in Cascade had completely soured the achievement. My sum of best segments was 942. I could have easily done better. I even checked the leaderboards and saw that I was 2 seconds away from making it to the top 500. With newfound determination and spite for not only Alpharad, but myself, I set out to correct my mistakes and to make a name for myself. Run after run showed slight improvements, but I made vital mistakes in different sections. No run came close to my previous best, until finally, I left my previous record in the dust. I excitedly submitted the run to speedrun.com when I realized that I had forgotten to set up OBS to record audio. My great achievement would forever go unnoticed. Or it would have, but I spent the next half hour fixing OBS, then I started running again. Not long after starting, my effort paid off. Even with a sloppy start, I saved the second end cap. I blitzed my way through Cascade near perfectly and beat Madame Brutal into submission. When I got to Sand, I was making record time. I quickly plundered the Sphinx and made the greatest purchase of my life. Finally, after a week of effort, my final run time was 9:44:44. An even greater time than my first submission, and nearly 6 minutes of improvement from my first run. Proving once and for all that I'm allowed to backseat Alpharad in his Twitch chat.